Like people trying to save every other people but themselves. Here you are, can hardly walk, and you're going to carry somebody else on your back. I'm telling you up front. I'm here to solve problems of black people. And it's African people first. You can take this as and this is, you can take it any way you want it. It's not meant to be unfriendly to Latinos. I teach Latinos more than I teach blacks really at this point. And I feel very good in their presence, and we share many things. But you also have to be what? Real. And these people are going for themselves. As any people should. Understand? I have no jealousy, no envy, no hatred, because these people are taking care of their families. That's what a people is supposed to do. I am just concerned as to why we are not doing the same. And so they say they own over half of these 167 stores. The owners of the 37 new Bravo stores are almost entirely Dominican. All told, the region's Dominicans sell more than $1 billion worth of groceries a year. The Dominican grocery business owners who succeed, as well as Mr. Diaz, have followed a quick, steep route to six-figure incomes. Often they plant their stores in tough neighborhoods where major chains have pulled out for celebration. Who is the tough neighborhood? You know who it is. We gotta bring it to a close. You must operate in terms of race. You have no other choice.
Tell it.
You understand? Now I have here what they call a chart here of social standing, where they have measured the social standing of ethnic groups in this country and across the world apparently. Out of a 9-point scale, which implies the highest, down to 1. With the native, and like that, native white American. And this measure was taken in 1989, 7.03. Of course, they're at the top of the whole deal. And from there to follow British, Protestants, Catholics, Irish, and down to the bottom of the list, we get Negroes. 4.17. Where's this racial harmony taking place? Where's this melting pot occurring? Only one step above Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, and Gypsies. It's their work, not mine. They ask people to evaluate the standing of ethnic groups, their own ethnic groups with other ethnic groups, and that's where it's come out. You're going to have to make it through the top, through your own power, and under your own power. And the people you see at the top are the people who got the own power, man. It's no accident there. So now, we're going to jump over there. We'll check out here another thing. Let me just say something real quick here. So we need to study European power. We need to see how it's put together, because it's put together as a system, its weaknesses and its strength. We need to look at the origins of power. Anthropologists in their study of human culture have been able to document that the exercise of power and the division of labor within the family constitute the most basic power relationship, the one from which true power structures develop. I'm quoting now from Dye's book on power. But he's saying here that power begins where? In the what? Home. In the family structure. There are many ways you can look at families. We must not only look at black families as well as on welfare or welfare, where it is headed by a man or not or what have you. But a family also represents a set of power relationships. The word father, the word mother, son, daughter represent power relationships. They represent status relationships. That is why we recognize the abuse of parental power creates what? Personality problems and can cripple children forever. The judicious and wise use of parent power can create beautiful and wonderful and positive children. In other words, then, parents have power, and there's a structure of power relations within the family which lays up the child's and the person's attitude toward power, how they will use power, how they will relate to power for the rest of their lives. And that is why the family has to be appropriately organized in terms of its power relationships. And that is why the oppressor wishes to distort and disrupt the black family and have it misidentify itself and make itself dysfunctional. In doing so, then, its relationship to power. And when you talk about criminality, we talk about what? Relationship to authority. What are you talking about there? A power relationship. Does your father have authority? Does your mother have authority? And in a sense, then, they are not only your mother and your father, but they are the symbols of authority, and they lay the script for your relationship to authorities throughout the society itself. Right. And consequently, then, how we organize our families and how we relate to each other sets the basis for how we relate to power and whether we develop power. And one of the major reasons why this system oppresses the economic system of African people is so that it can disrupt the power relations in the African family and therefore disrupt black people's ability to get power. You must note that the black family and the family serves major functions. It is a mini society within itself. It is a nation within itself. And it, in a sense, is a microcosmic nation. And it is a preparation for the individual's behavior in the macrocosmic nation. Look at what the family functions do. It regulates sexual behavior, reproductive behavior, socialization behavior, affectional behavior, status, function, protection, and economic functioning. A family is an economic unit. And the way it shares its economic resources, the way it deals with its economic resources, lays the ground for how the nation deals with its economic resources. You have to understand that. And therefore, the restructuring of the family is a restructuring for power. The true political power organization begins with the development of power relations between family and kinship groups. The basic power structures are voluntary alliances of families and clans who acknowledge the same leaders, habitually work together in economic enterprises, agree to certain ways of conduct for the maintenance of peace among themselves, and cooperate in the conduct of offensive and defensive warfare. Thus, power structures are born within the development and cooperation between families and kinship groups. A part of Afrocentric education is education for familyhood. When we talk about taking these boys out, we are training them to be fathers. We're training them to be husbands. We're training them how to relate to each other socially. We're training them to build a team spirit which will be used against their oppressors. Look at the way this white man has you organized today. You can get a bunch of black men who are willing to call themselves bulls. You know, Chicago Bulls, Bulls. They can wear the same uniforms. Right? You see it all the time. You look at it all the time.
They don't talk about it.
They coordinate their behavior, don't they? Yeah, they organize as a team. And they'll run over any bunch of white men they see. As long as it's where? On the football field or the basketball court. And